gotta turn around so Sean get your picture.
It don't hurt. It don't hurt. You feel me?
You gotta turn around, Sean.
You guys are about 25 pounds apart, so we're not doing all that.
We're on boxing skills.
Hey, that's
you know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying? We can work together. You know what I'm saying? It's my boy right here. You know.
Good dub.
Did you get to see the stoppage, Abdullah?
Huh?
Did you get to see him fight?
Yeah. He did his thing.
Yeah.
Looking smooth in there. Chilling.
was in there, boy. You gotta get out of
What do
here.
you think of his power at middleweight?
Champion like him right here.
Formidable for sure. He's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? The more focus you are, the more it's gonna come out. So, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna just show up.
Didn't you guys know each other as teenagers in the Haney camp when you sparred Devin and
Amari? That's
Even
what I
before
did.
that, in the amateur, you know, I just see him all the time in the tournaments and everything. So, you know, go way back.
Yeah, doing his thing, man. Good dub. Good dub. Sure,
last one, Abdullah? Will he join you as a world champion, you feel?
I think so. For sure,
Yeah.
inshallah.
Yeah.
Just staying focused and keep excelling. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he's seeing for himself, he can make it happen. He can make it happen.
So, Amari, man, but yeah, Luis Arias, this is the most experienced professional you fought so far. Did you feel like the level he brought as an experienced veteran brought something more out of you in your 16th fight?
No, of course. I knew I was in there with a crafty vet. I knew I was there with somebody that been there with a lot of people. So I had to come in with my A game. You know, no matter what he brought, if he didn't have a good day, had a bad day, or whatever it was. You know, so I tried my best just to be the best me, and I showed that tonight.
So can you talk about counter punching, but you were counter punching with bad intentions, and just kind of walk us through that.
So in training camp, I watched a lot of film on him, and I seen that he was slow, coming with wide punches and stuff. So I knew about staying up high, keep my punches tight on the runway, like we call it, and I knew it was going to connect. And accuracy and speed, you can't get away from it. So I caught him with that left hook in the second round, but that hurt him bad, and I knew from there I was like, I got it.
Bruce Carrington, I guess he was watching the fight on DAZN too, and he said what he was impressed with was even when you miss, how well your balance was while throwing with a lot of heat. So do you feel like, surgical power puncher?
Of course, you gotta have tactics when it comes to the punches you choose. You gotta have the placement of your feet and everything, because one wrong move can cost you something. So I try to be smart in there. I know when I throw a punch to be able to have some type of defensive move after it, or some type of another punch to come after that, and another punch to come after that. So you gotta stay 3 steps ahead, 4 steps ahead.
I know after the fight, you were asked about what it means to have Virgil in your corner. You talked about how you reach out to him a lot. You guys are in constant communication. I gotta ask though, have you talked to Dre at all?
All the time. Dre texted me last night before the fight. He texted me a couple days ago, checking on how camp's going and everything. Dre is somebody that's we've been in contact with ever since I've been training with Virgil, and he gave me a lot of advice on things I should do and how to go about certain things. So I appreciate Dre and Virgil.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, obviously having a champion in your corner, great thing. Having a trainer like Virgil, great thing. But then those guys being from your area, I mean, it's got to feel special when you put on with them, right?
It's only right. You know what I mean? It's only right that that we linked up and did it the right way. Town business. How we call it. Town business. You know what I mean?
Is there any game from Bill Haney and from Devin too that is still paying off for you at this point?
Absolutely. There's somebody that kind of molded me from the beginning of my career. And nothing that they have taught me I've lost. So all the stuff you see that I do, I learned with Devin and Bill, and I appreciate them for that. And I'm learning a lot of stuff from Virgil and even Dre at times. Man, it's the best of both worlds.
You've always
Anybody specific that you're kind of on the hit list now, after a spectacular win like that?
Anybody that's just running, like I said, in the ring, it's hard to say who's next, who's this, who's that, because the 160 division is not too exciting. So, I mean, anybody can be close to the world title, I'm willing to fight. If you look at Golden Boy roster, they got Eric Priest. I love to have a fight with Eric Priest. Man, that's somebody can say that's on my side. But other than that, there's a few guys out there, Corey Isley, Vito Milnicki. Man, so much that goes on, and guys across the pond, you know, I'm ready for them all.
How would you do with Callum Walsh?
Come on, man. He need to go back to 154. He's too small.
They got him fighting that middleweight now. I know you saw that.
I don't know if he's ready or not. I don't know. To me personally, that last fight, it didn't really look too impressive.
You didn't think he looked like Roy Jones?
Who?
That's what the commentators were saying.
Roy who? I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses, you know?
Oh, facts. I just wanted to ask, I mean, like you said, you know, 160 right now, maybe not the most exciting division.
Yes.
How long are you for the division? Is it your intention to stay there until you belt up and unify, or are you willing to maybe move up?
I make 160 pretty comfortable, so
okay.
you know, it all depends on how the politics go. You know, it's always politics with everything. So, man, if I can get to the title by next year, and you know, wherever, I'm still growing, so I'm a young man. So, man, it's hard to say.
How long until 160 is yours? You feel?
Not very long. Not very long. I can't give you an exact time, but I can say knock on the door.
And lastly, Amari, you know, you've been, it looks like your first 2 fights with Golden Boy, you're looking to produce a knockout, but you always had a good jab going back to the amateurs. Do you feel like that's something you want to get back onto in addition to the kind of, the highlights of it?
I mean, the shots that I caught him with, the big shots, I set it up off my jab tonight. You know, with Arias, he was right there for it. So, like I said, my jab was money. I was landing pretty much, I had to land 90% of my jabs that I did throw, and my jab is there. Like, it's a weapon that I really have for it.
Appreciate it, Amari.
Amari, just one last question for me. Break down the hairstyle for me, my guy. What's to this hairstyle?
It's just a bear, and you know, you rock the tails, you know what I'm saying? So,